Welcome back to Path of Exile. We're level 46 on the Occultist, and we're about to wrap up the 5th act, where we're gonna have to fight Kitava at the end. Before we do that though, we have 2 more areas to explore. We'll head back to the Ruin Square. Now I opened that portal so we can use it later. For now we need to head directly south.
When I'm ready, and not before.
And step into the reliquary. We're going to activate this waypoint and return here later. For now we have to go back to the square. There is Utula that we have to take care of. And he's in one of the streets. Possibly right over here.
Did you think our vengeance was done, Savior? Oh no, it has only begun.
We'll step into the secluded canal as well. I always enjoy running these side areas. You can get some decent items here. Is that a portal gem? Yes, it is. Not what I expected to find, but we're gonna pick it up. There's Val Reap. I'm tempted to say this is a new skill. Can't make much use of it now, sadly. Can I actually use the ring? I'm afraid not. We'll use a transmute on the flask. Okay, that is an improvement.
For freedom.
And where can we place this one? Okay, that looks good.
When I'm ready, and not before.
The ossuary is also full of annoying enemies, but we need an item here in order to progress. Without it, we cannot access the cathedral rooftop. And this is the sign of purity. Sin is also here, apparently. And we can also get mana reservation efficiency. I think this is going to help us a bit with mana.
An empire is nothing more than a standard, pitched in the naked earth. The time has come for you to raise the standard upon the peak of false faith, the apex of Chitta's cathedral. Drive it deep into that sacred stone. Mark the death of a faithless empire and slay the slavering kingdom that seeks to consume it.
There's a recipe for physical damage. The symbol, of course, we need. One last stop, this time at the reliquary.
Too much clutter.
To Kohama, our father of war, and Valakor, father of storm, took Kitava to Hinekora, mother of death. They asked her to kill the greedy Kitava, for surely their tribe would starve if Kitava continued to live among them. But Hinekora refused, for death would not teach Kitava the lesson he needed to learn. Instead, Hinekora beat Kitava
When I'm
with a
ready,
whip
and not
woven of her
before.
own hair. To Kitava, each strand was a searing lash, and so he wore thousands and thousands of blistering lashes across his back, as Hinekora drove him relentlessly into the darkest corner of the underworld. There she left him to suffer, without water or food, for the rest of eternity. And there Kitava remained, in the darkness of Hinekora's night-clad island, for time beyond measure. There he suffered, waiting for the day that he could return to the world of light, to slake his scorching thirst and satiate his ravening hunger.
Okay, the enemies in here are a lot more annoying than I remember.
Too much clutter.
But we have what we needed. We're going to turn in the Kitava Torments.
Not all slaves believe Dutula's lies. Some I know have managed to steal a ship and are soon to set sail for Namakanui. Hopefully, with these treasures on board, Valakor will bless their voyage and breathe deeply into their sails. No, I'm not going with them. I helped bring this curse down upon Oriath, so I'll help save what little there is left to save. Here, take something, in thanks for your part in preserving the Karui Way.
And we're rewarded with another Book of Skill. And this Time-Worn Claw actually has 3 wide sockets. Come to think of it, this might be worth keeping, simply to place on the alternative weapon slot.
For freedom.
If we have to level gems in the future. Let me dismiss that notification. And what do I need to do? We're gonna get this charisma cluster next. The question is, what can I actually buy from Act 3? Maybe we don't have access to those
Watch
gems
yourself.
due to the class. +1 level to fire skill gems. Tempted to buy just in case, but I think I will not. Okay. Is there an evasion aura available? Unfortunately not. I think I'm going to buy the Enfeeble Curse though. We'll place that here.
See you.
Let's try to get another socket. That's perfect. Now you might be asking, why are we back in the library? This is Act 3. Well, when we complete a quest here,
and not before.
that I should have done earlier and I simply forgot, we are awarded with gems and also a gem shop from Siosa. Okay, this is the entrance to the library from the gardens. This time we're looking for the archives though. And we even found an essence. That was a lucky find. And we have the 4 pages. We'll go back and talk to the spirit in the library.
Please, do not be alarmed. I am neither monster nor murderer, though that is the duality of existence that defines San these days. My name is Yosafuanga, and I have the bleak honor of being the sole scholar to the Imperious Intellection, this grand repository of knowledge you see about you. May reason preserve us. In more mundane circumstances, it would be preposterous to ask this of you, an utter stranger, but given that I don't know in which century I might see another pair of flesh and bone hands, there's a door, you see, concealed behind the shelves. It leads into the archives. That's where Isius Perandus concealed his golden pages. Can you see how maddening that would be for me? No, of course you can't. Ridiculous of me to... Suffice to say that they are beyond my reach. 4 Varlish texts they are, of priceless historical insight. Please, find my friend's golden pages and bring them to me. You will be rewarded. I vow it before the ancestors. By the ancestors, it's good to see fresh words in front of me. Now, my translation skills are not what Isius were. I can achieve a meager paraphrase at best. But a little knowledge is better than none, is it not? Let us begin. This tapestry of truth is a threadbare cloth indeed, but at least you have allowed me to begin the first few stitches in its restoration, and to settle the memory of a dear friend. In return, allow me to give you this, a little practical wisdom to improve your lot.
And we have a skill gem to pick. Now, these are also important. What are we looking for here? Impending Doom, Meat Shield, Archmage. There's Blasphemy and Elemental Pen. We'll choose Swift Affliction for now, but this is not why we came here. Once you complete the quest from Siosa, you can now buy all skill gems available up to this point that you normally could not. So what are we looking for here? Well, the first item is Grace Aura. Let's place that right here. Can't really use it yet, but it will be useful later on. And another item is... No, that's not it. It's a decoy totem. There we go. Okay, we can place Arctic armor. And we can also get an increased duration gem. We'll place it on the alternative weapon slot. And we're doing well.
Go with care, friend.
Now that this is done, we can go back to Act 1 to buy the final skill gem. For now, this is Still Skin, which will replace Summon Stone Golem.
Be well.
Do we have room for Swift Affliction? Unfortunately not. Yeah, that's okay. We'll keep Swift Affliction. We're also going to keep Summon Stone Golem.
The High Priest is dead, yet the object of his devotion remains. There's no doubt you did all right bringing that man-turned-monster to heel, but you weren't able to stop him fishing his master out of a river of blood. Damn. Sorry. I never could get the hang of boosting morale. Didn't seem right to polish the edges off harsh facts. Probably why I never made captain. Still, I've been poking around here for a bit, and have turned up Utula's stash. Quite the magpie he was. So here, help yourself. When it comes to hunting a god, I suppose every little bit helps.
And what can we pick? Let's try the shield.
Innocence forgives you.
So there's, wait, what does Helena have to
I
say?
could hardly hope for better results. Do note, the device needs special reagents to perform, so not all uses will be so easy.
Oh, this is
Keep
the
your life to
conclusion
your own.
of the introduction quest to crafting. So here we are. If we replace that ring, what can I actually craft here? We can add some mana to this amulet. And although we cannot craft resistances, how about some evasion and energy shield? Every little bit helps. Now we have 2 more. We can only craft resistances and only lightning resistance. We have 6 alchemy orbs. So I would rather craft the lower tier. There's 18. And we need fire resistance. And also on the gloves. Yeah, the lower tier would do here. So now we are done. That's all we can craft. Don't have much else, especially not through the crafting bench. And with a Sign of Purity, we can finally access the rooftop.
When I'm ready, and not before.
There's a Valor. And those enemies are actually quite scary. Many of the deadly spells that they used cannot really be avoided through evasion. And that's the only defense we have right now. And here we are at the apex. So this is the statue that Kitava is hiding inside of. These attacks do a lot of damage, and it's mostly physical, which of course we can't exactly mitigate since we have no armor. We need to avoid everything here.
I'm ready, and not before.
Okay, this is Kitava's heart. It's a sort of invulnerability phase. I think we blocked that. That was a lucky one. Should have moved way earlier. I'm not sure who is causing these maims. Maybe it's because of the elites, these Beast Guardians. And we're close to the end of the fight. Got hit a couple of times, but luckily we did survive it.
The flame of hope may flicker, but it cannot be extinguished.
And Sin saved the day.
There is no shame in falling to a god. Shame lies only in refusing to rise again. You shall soar. That much I'm permitted to foresee. You shall ascend to the peak of your loftiest mistake, and from there you shall pluck a single surviving hope from the jaws of immortal despair. A ship sails for Lion Eye's watch not far from here. Be on it.
And here we are at the docks. The fight with Kitava is over for now. Okay, this waypoint is active. But we need to get on that ship. So we'll talk to the pirate here.
I'm Captain Lily Roth, and we sail for Wraeclast. Better to live in exile than die on this psychotic bonfire of an island.
Agreed.
You want to make it out of here, you better get on board. But make it quick, 'cause I ain't got time for tears and regrets. Remember, this ain't no charity run. You owe me. Cast off!
And we're back in Lion Eye's watch. Areas has changed quite a bit, as you can see.
Alright, we're safe for the time being. Now let me introduce myself properly. Lily Roth. Yep, I'm one of those Roths. Some call me smuggler, others pirate. Yet I prefer the sound of nautical entrepreneur. Came up with that one myself. So you come see Lily if you need something, or even if you just fancy a good chat with a lovely lady. Don't think I'd be forgetting that favour you owes me. In fact, now I think of it, there's certainly a way you can be repaying this most considerable debt. You see, those blasted cultists have been plundering the refugee ships trying to escape Oriath. And if not for my incomparable skill as a sea captain, we'd have met the same fate. But now the drowned dead are washing ashore, and they ain't staying dead. There's been a whole lot of blood, sweat and tears getting these few lucky survivors here in one piece. What sort of captain would I be if I let them get ripped apart by walking corpses? Wipe the Twilight Strand clean of those filthy undead bastards and I'll call us even. Might even throw in a little something extra if you can pull it off. Time and tide wait for no man.
Time and tide wait for no man. Yeah, in the past you would hear that line a lot. So there's Darkly, there's Besto, Kurai as well.
First we hear that Oriath has lost its bloody mind, and then you turn up. Doesn't take a scholar to work out how these two events might be connected.
It's that obvious, huh?
I don't know what's going on out there, and I probably wouldn't understand it if I saw it with my own two eyes. What I do know is this. The world we knew, it's gone. Now we have to do our damnedest to make sure we don't go with it. Nessa. I saw her one night, running out across the coast, headed in the direction of the mudflats. Called out to her, but she didn't even turn her head. Maybe she couldn't hear me. Maybe she didn't want to. I don't bloody know. I tried to run after her, but she'd vanished into the darkness before my feet had barely touched the sand. So I tracked her, all the way to the mudflats, and that's when her tracks, they just stopped. No sign of meeting someone or something. No sign of a struggle. It's like one moment she was running and the next, gone. Look, I've heard some things about what you've done. Things that beg a belief. Now you can do this. Please. Find Nessa. Bring her back to us.
So Darkly still has some items available. I can see a couple of forelinks. This is a weapon, can't really use that. These masks could have been good. Unfortunately, they're not. Cold resistance. No, not quite.
Farewell.
Okay, we already found a smuggler cache. These are items introduced in a league
When
called
I'm ready
Heist.
and not before.
Quite an interesting one. I'm going to let the characters in the area speak for themselves when we actually get there and have a chance to interact with them. For now, we just pick up the markers in some of these contracts and just move on. Hold on, how much resistance do we miss? We need lightning and we need fire, but not enough that it's going to be a problem. And I think we're done here. Nothing remains. The icon that you see, I didn't really explain that. It's actually a mirror of delirium. And we're not gonna interact with it right now. When you go through it, well, the area changes quite a bit, and you have to deal with some powerful monsters. We'll talk to Lily for now, complete that quest.
So many drowned Ariathans cast into undeath. You freed them from their torment, and I'm sure they'd be grateful. Here, that little something extra I were talking about. Those the sea takes away, it gives back in greater measure.
And there's another book.
While you be skulking about, I've managed to do a bit of hunting on my own. Got a hole full of baubles and trinkets here, which I managed to, procure. Take a look. You might find something particularly naughty to help you on your life's voyage.
And she also sells some of the gems. Come to think of it, her shop is actually complete, unlike Siosa, which will not sell you some of the gems that are available in Act 4 and beyond. I don't believe we need anything else.
Time and tide wait for no man.
That belt isn't really worth keeping. We're gonna use the book, of course.
Despite your best efforts, Beast Slayer, a splinter of hope remains. The very seed that brought my beast into existence. The Dark Ember. Never again shall it birth a life so magnificent as the beast. Yet a residue of that power still lingers. Enough to give us a fighting chance against the ravenous Kitava. How do we obtain this Dark Ember? 3 hearts were silenced. three hearts must sing again, one last time. In that final flickering of life, our Savior's seed shall be born. All I need are 3 fine souls with which to stoke the flames. Chevron of Umbra, Inquisitor Maligaro, Dodre the Dark Tongue. 3 spirits of near unfathomable resilience and vigor, freed with the beast's final exhalation. So let us begin the harvest. Chevron has come home to Axiom. We shall give her the warm welcome she sincerely deserves. Remember, humanity needs us.
And yes, Chevron...
Still alive,
She's not the final boss of this act, but we're gonna run into her.
Stay sharp out there.
Now, if we talk to Kurai, we get the introduction to Heist and the Rogue Harbor. We're gonna keep that contract for now.
Now there's a pair of eyes I could never forget. If the tales are true, those peepers of yours have seen all the wonders of Wraeclast by now. And a few things they likely wish they hadn't. Oh, and no need for us to speak of Oriath. My ears are brimful with the sorrows these wretched companions of yours have been spilling. Now, I'm sure you've noticed that Lion Eyes Watch has seen better days. Our once bubbling township has, alas, become a brooding quagmire of gloom and despair. I blame the unrelenting weather. As you know, I am both a humanitarian and a strong believer in the soul-sustaining power of story. Back when I was still captain of the Merry-Go, many days at sea afforded me time to work on my thespian aspirations. I wrote a theatrical epic, a one-man show entitled Cedric and the Buxom Stranger. I sealed the manuscript inside a roll of oiled leather and stashed it in the hold for safekeeping. Perhaps you could salvage it for me from that tidal island upon which my poor ship came to rest. Who knows? Maybe we can bring some joy back to Lion Eyes Watch with a bit of live entertainment.
And yes, we do a quest for Bestel, and he's gonna put on a live show. Not sure if this is a good thing, but we're gonna need the reward nonetheless.
When I'm ready and not before. Oops, clumsy me.
We're gonna pick the Scarlet Raiment and of course the Essence. Unfortunately, this is a very low level one.
This'll do nicely, Exile.
There's more sulfite.
Good find, Exile.
And that's the manuscript. And this is an essence of hatred. Good. That totem is already doing a lot of work. We could continue on to the mud flats, but I'm going back to town for now. Complete the quest with Bestel.
Marvelous. Oh, yes, yes, it's all here. Act 1, Scene 1. Along the shoreline, the beach grass sways. A blazing sun sinks 'neath sparkling waves. Oh, strange be the night when the drowned dead rise, and a pale moon ascends above the cold sky. The stranger still is lost to me, those silken pillars upon which I lay and see. Moody, atmospheric, not as funny as I remember. But I'm sure it gets better in Act 2. Regardless, you have my thanks. Please, take something for your efforts. And next time you're in town, do come and see the show. I'll leave your name at the door, if I can salvage a door from somewhere else.
So what item are we going to pick? I would say probably the Citrine Amulet. Hey, and that was a good choice. Unfortunately, there is no suffix to craft resistances, but we do get some cold resistance. That being said, we don't really need it. Now, we're gonna lose a bit of strength, we're gonna gain life. Cast speed is the same. I'm not sure about that one. I think I'm going to leave it in the stash for now. No, I think the life enough. The life increase is probably enough. About 30 life.
When I'm ready and not before.
And I can even see Nessa on the map. Oh, this is the entrance to the submerged passage.
He did this to me! The King of Brian. And he wants me to be... Oh God. Please. I don't know how I'm doing this, nor if I may again. Help me. Help us before he... Before...
So that's a bizarre turn of events. There's another mirror.
Let me teach you the laws of war.
Okay, we have to fight another mini-boss. This is Tukohama.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Tukohama. The soil wants for your blood no more.
Can I exit? Okay, I can exit. And we are at the ridge. This is an area similar to the ledge from Act 1. I can level, increase duration. Grace is level 4. We can collect the reward after this fight.
You've seen Nessa. Talk to her. Oh, that's more than I dared hope for, truth be told. This change she's going through, this curse the so-called Brine King has put on her, it can be broken. I know it. You've got to keep going. Follow her trail before it gets any colder. Make your way along the coast, the ship graveyard, even Mervale's cave if you must. By my reckoning, this king's not the sort to venture far from his briny bed. You've killed the Karui war god. Can you kill a god? Look, I can't even begin to understand what you've just done. Vestal will be able to put our gratitude into words more fitting of a legend. Me, I'll work with what I know. A solid reward for a damn fine deed.
And that's another skill point.
Farewell.
We can get some reservation efficiency. Hopefully, with the next one, we can activate the Grace Aura.
Good tidings to you. Time and tide wait for no man.
Yeah, I will never forget that. Okay. I think that's decent progress for now. We have a lot to do in this act. It's one of the longest ones, especially since you get introduced to many of the past League events that are not available in the first 5 ones. So I'll end the episode. Next time we're definitely going to the Rogue Harbor and checking out Heist before we continue on with Act 6. But for now, all I'm gonna say is I hope you enjoyed your time so far, and I'll see you in the next episode.